Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 87 of Bardic Quest. It's time for an adventuring party's favourite pastime, shopping. But whilst they're enjoying that, Gundren Rockseeker, eager to continue his life's work, approaches our party with an offer that they may be unable to refuse. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest.
Me and Sergei had immediately gone to Margaret's house. And I'm holding the tin like, so did you send this cake?
She's looking at it. But for the record, how much of the cake has been eaten? Is it all gone?
Oh, it's all gone.
Okay.
Scrubs.
She's
better than my father's lemon drizzle. It's all gone.
So she's looking at it and she says, "Well, I don't recognise the tin."
And that's all I needed to know. Thank you very much. Sergei here wanted to repay your kindness and spend the afternoon with you.
Oh God.
Oh,
Morning.
well, that's very nice of him. And she gives him a nod, and she beckons him to a cup of tea, and she passes him a saucer. And,
Yes, thank you very much. I would very much like to spend the morning with you and have tea, Margaret.
Sorry, James.
And she passes Sergei a tea, and has one for herself. And she says, "And what are you looking to do this morning, young
Well,
man?"
can't stay. Lots to buy. he sort of just gives a nod and heads off down the road.
And you, as you're leaving, you hear Margaret starting to bend Sergei's ear, saying, complimenting you, Thorik, as you're leaving, but to Sergei, and then going on about her own lemon drizzle cake recipe, which she claims to be an award-winning recipe.
We
As
shall
you-
see, Margaret. We shall see. And I go and get provisions. Potentially, I don't know. Initially, Gundren brought like mining things. Is he implying that possibly we might need mining supplies to go to this mine?
It's certainly possible. The mine has been found, but the Forge of Spells, at least as far as he is aware, last he heard, had not been found.
Okay. I will get supplies for us for, if it's a day's travel, a few days kind of thing, I don't know, maybe like a week's worth for everyone, just in case.
Of rations? Is that?
Yeah, like, we've already got some rations amongst ourselves, so more kind of, I'm trying to think what we'd need, possibly, we've already got a tent and stuff like that, haven't we?
I believe so.
And we can kind of carry that stuff ourselves. I don't know whether a horse would actually be useful to us.
You're going to be traveling through hills.
Buy me crossbow.
Oh, crossbow bolts, yes.
Yeah. See,
I hadn't
she did
forgotten.
request.
I hadn't forgotten your crossbow bolts. Right. Crossbow bolts 20. Do they come in batches of 20?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like 20 of your finest crossbow bolts.
All right. So 20 crossbow bolts is going to cost 1 gold piece.
Oh, great. I'll have 40.
So that's 4 gold pieces from the kitty then for
Ooh.
40 crossbow bolts. Oh no, sorry.
I thought you said
2 gold pieces. Sorry.
yeah.
Two gold
what?
pieces.
I said, hang on a minute.
No,
Where's this
2
kind
gold
of
pieces, not 4
inflation
gold.
That's like-
come from, sir?
That's like
Forgive me.
20.
I don't suppose there's any oil on hand, is there? I may have used most of it on Glassstaff.
Yes, flasks of oil are also available from Barthen's Provisions. A flask of oil equates to a silver piece in cost.
Ooh,
I
maybe
will
some more rope. We used a lot of rope.
Rope. Yeah,
You have used a lot of rope.
I'm thinking there might be things like climbing, spelunking, so maybe like, I don't know, a couple of pickaxes, some pitons, some rope for us in case there's any like climbing down of sheer surfaces, etc. Oil for Johann. If there's any kind of like alchemist's fire as well, I don't know whether that's something that they would sell.
So, for sake of ease, Barthen's Provision essentially stocks anything in the adventuring gear table of the player's handbook.
Johann produces from his pack the small jeweled box that he got from Harmon Cost. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Oh, this is a throwback.
I know. I've been carrying it for quite a while. We haven't been in a situation where we needed to buy anything substantial. Kind of slides it across the counter and goes, "How much is this worth? And do not lie to me or I will know."
All right. So Elmar Barthen gets out a little jeweler's like, telescope thing, whatever it's called. I'm sure there's a technical name for it. And he has a good detailed look at the box. And he says, well, I reckon you're probably looking at 25 gold.
He turns to Thorik and Saga and says, "It's worth 35.
And then you hear Barthen go, no, 25.
That's just how much he's willing to pay for it. It's worth 35.
It's
Yeah.
he wants to sell it on. He'll want a profit. 25 is probably a pretty good offer.
He turns to him and says, 35.
Give me a persuasion check.
I took this from a red wizard. He commanded a small army of zombies. I risked my life getting this thing, and now you're going to pay me 25 measly gold pieces?
Johann, you really have to work on your approach.
It's because I got a 4. If I'd have rolled higher, I'd have persuaded him better.
He says, or we could go with 20.
Very well. I will accept 25. That's my final offer.
And he says, very well. And he gets his little chest of coins out and he starts counting out his 25 gold pieces, slides it over to you and just whisks the jeweled box away.
He puts his hand on the hand that covers his gold and says, take what we owe you out of this pile. For everything else, obviously we've paid for stuff so far, but like If you need anything else, then take it out of this pile.
I see. Thank you. So, what are you all collectively purchasing then, in that case?
Oil.
Oil?
I'm doing a list. I'm doing
Oil
a shopping
rope.
list.
A shopping list.
Does he have any weapons?
No. If you want weapons, the Lion Shield Costa is where you would want to go.
Then that's where we're headed.
Before that, is there anything anybody would like to buy here?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just finishing off my list.
Saga, anything for you?
Well, rope.
Rope?
And the crossbow bolts have already been bought.
Crossbow bows have already been done.
I'm doing it as all one list, so if there's things you want,
Yeah.
just tell me. Are they with me now? I'm assuming they are.
Yeah.
Currently so, yes.
Yeah.
Hello!
Hi.
Hello, friend.
We're back.
We ultimately have a choice, Saga, whether you want to go hempen or silk on the rope. Both options are 50 feet in length.
I mean, not the hemp.
I mean, I thought so, but it is a choice. So in which case, then, a hempen rope would be 1 gold piece.
Yeah, we're spelunking in mines, not doing shibari, you know. Come
The
on.
advantage
Exactly. I was like, silk rope.
The advantage,
for
of
this.
course, to silk rope is it's much lighter. So
Whereas
it takes up
hempen rope
less
is
of
heavy.
your potential. Yes. Hempen rope is twice as heavy as silk rope, but also 10 times the price. So
Hemp rope will be fine for a wilderness type gal like Saga is.
okay. And how about you, Thorik? How are you getting on with your list?
Yeah, good. So that would be 50 copper pieces, which is 5 silver. Nearly there. Do we want, my friends, do we want some alchemist's fire? It's quite pricey. It's 50 gold pieces, but could come in handy. Johann, he's looking at.
I'm intrigued. Johann is intrigued, but
It's not magical. We make it up in Mirabar. It's this kind of alchemical fire. It burns really well, burns really brightly, and persistently. And even in adverse conditions, it'll go. And if you were to weaponize it, it would be quite spicy. If you know what I mean.
Is it like gunpowder?
It's an oil. It's kind of like a flask of oil. I think it's usually in like a sort of glass. The flask can then be sort of put into other things.
Yeah, I say, how many do you have?
I mean, we can probably spring to maybe 2 if we.
I mean, that's quite a lot. Maybe 1 would be fine.
One, just one, yeah.
A flask gives you more than 1 use as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let's get one.
Get as many as we can carry.
No, we're not raising a town.
Look, we don't need to
the-
spend our entire wealth on.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
people-
we're not.
What?
Saga's putting her
Money?
foot down.
Just to be clear, a flask of alchemist fire is a 1-use thing.
Okay.
So shall
I
we
think
get
1
2?
then.
Come.
It's
think
it's
one.
basically the D&D version of
Holy hand
a
grenade.
Molotov cocktail.
Cool.
I was going to say the holy hand grenade.
Or the holy hand grenade, that works.
Ooh, a
Oh,
grab.
now that reminds me of the Worms, which I used to play a lot.
Nice.
That.
That is a fine reference from a very cultured person.
Well, yes, I'm a high class girl.
So,
Do we want, friends, a climber's kit?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm saying a yes. That's a yes from me.
What does a climber's kit contain? Climber's kit has
pittons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness.
lovely.
You can use the climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point where you anchored yourself, and you can't climb more than 25 feet away from that point without undoing the anchor.
Okay.
I think it'd be handy if Saga has that because she's strong. She can tether other people.
Johann's like...
So, we have...
Yeah, go on, sorry, go on.
Sorry, we have 40 crossbow bolts for 2 gold pieces, a bag of ball bearings for 1 gold pieces, total of 3 so far, 3 vials for 3, that's a total of 6, 2 times 50 feet of hempen rope, that's 2 gold pieces, that's 8, 5 days of rations for 4 people each, that's 10 gold pieces, so that's 18. 1 pick, that's 20, 3 flasks of regular oil, that's 3 silver pieces. 10 pittons, 5 silver, so that's 8 silver. Grappling hook, 2 gold, so 22 gold. Climber's kit, 25 gold. So that's 47 gold. Alchemist's fire, 50 gold, 47, 97 gold, and 8 silver.
Well, I've got 25.
I've got it out of the kitty.
Yeah.
That's okay, because he's just given me a load of gold. Anyways, take it out of mine and then call it.
How much has he just given you?
25.
Okay, so bring us back down to 72.
Shall I get 72 off what I marketed?
Lovely. 72 and 8 silver.
72. And 8 silver.
So, Saga, you're getting those 40 crossbow bolts. I'm just going to take those off my inventory.
And I guess we all put +5 rations on our inventory.
Yep.
Someone mark that. We need to tell Sergei.
I can do.
Thank you.
Climber's kit and grappling hook to Johann. Cool. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
Saga, what else did you want to carry?
I can take rope.
Yeah. If you take one of the ropes, I'll take. I think I used one of my other ones, so I'll take one. You take one. Cool. So 1 times rope each. Vials. The 3 flasks of oil. Johann, if you take 2, I'll keep 1.
Righto.
Vials, you take those, Johann, because those might be useful for poisons and other such things. So 3 vials for you. I'll hold on to the bill bearings, but might give them to Sergei. Saga, if you take 5 pittons, I'll take 5 pittons.
Cool.
And the alchemist's fire, I will give to Johann as well. Everyone got that?
So it was just the rations for Sergei, right?
For now, I will give him the ball bearings personally.
Sure. Okay. I hope you're enjoying this week's episode of Bardic Quest. I just wanted to take a quick moment to highlight our Adventurers Guild to you. Now, I understand more than you might realise just how difficult it can be to arrange a game of Dungeons & Dragons, particularly if you don't have friends who are into D&D, or indeed if you don't have a friendly local game store that is, well, local. So, I am offering my services as a Dungeon Master to members of the public. To find out more details, head on over to bardicquest.com/play, where you can see all of the pay-to-play games that I'm currently running, powered in part by our friends over at startplaying.games, and ran over Discord, so you can enjoy these games of D&D in the comfort of your own home. Again, bardicquest.com/play lists all of the adventures that we're currently going through, including the Lost Mines of Phandelver, which we're currently running through as part of the show. But we're also running a few other games at the moment, including the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. But there'll be other games on there as well, no doubt changing as time goes on through the time travel magic that is the internet. So head on over to bardicquest.com/play to see what games are available. Book yourself in, and we'll see you round the table. So, what would you like to do next?
What time of day is it?
By now, we're probably looking at about lunchtime at this point.
We can still get started on travel.
Aye. Lunch and then make our merry.
Sounds good.
Aye.
Okay. So you head on back to the Stonehill Inn, where you grab yourselves a bit of lunch on the house from Toblin Stonehill for making the tavern once again lively again.
And returning his barmaid.
And returning his barmaid, indeed. As you have noticed today that the town has a little bit more of a hustle and bustle about it, a little bit closer to how you left it when you left Phandelver many days before. Is there anything you would like to discuss before you head out?
I think Saga would tell Thorik about what this creature said. You know, how the black spider's already there. Blah, blah, blah.
So, definitely confirmed in front of witnesses that they changed. Good. And worrying that they are connected to the black spider, but not that we're surprised.
This could be more efforts from the black spider to throw us off his scent. They may not be as close. It may be that they're goading us to go to the cave so that they can follow us, because only we have the map. But we cannot afford to take that chance. We still must proceed with haste.
Aye.
Feels strange to be this close to it after all this time.
Aye. Been a long time.
For the first
What are
time,
Gundren's... Sorry, go on, Johann.
I just say I feel unprepared. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, I think we're a few up on the competition, given recent events.
Johann gives a weak smile.
I agree.
I haven't forgotten, by the way, about last night.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put my mind to it. Don't you worry. You let me shoulder that burden, okay?
It's like nothing I've ever felt before. I've had wounds dealt from every blade and spell. I don't recall anything like this.
And you were a very good patient, I must say. There was no protesting, and I cast a lot of spells on you this morning, so I appreciate that.
What are your intentions when we get to the cave?
We stop the black spider, surely.
Yes, but once that is done,
Gundren, what significance is the mine to you? What the doppelganger, they said, talked about, you know, taking over and controlling the region. Does it hold such power?
He says, well, the region previously was, before it was obviously destroyed essentially by the orcs previously, it was very wealthy, very up and coming. Well, I mean, there's a ruins of a manor house in this very town, so that should give you some idea as to the prosperity of the area. I would say that really, for me, the abilities that this forge presumably possesses is enough to bring a lot of wealth and prosperity back to the area, and certainly to whomever really is in possession of it.
I fear I know the answer to this question before I ask it. But could this forge be used for anything else other than monetary gain?
What's your thinking exactly?
They spoke of spells.
Spells mean power.
Aye.
Power
Well,
in the wrong hands.
I mean, it's certainly possible that if it got into the wrong hands, that it could certainly be abused.
What kind of spells could be forged from this?
Well, the legend is that this forge is such that rather than crafting more mundane metal items such as swords and shields and armor and such, that actually legend has it that this forge has the ability to create enchanted items rather than non-magical. Which you can imagine, if that is true, then the ability to create such items brings with it an ability to create vast amounts of wealth.
It would be a fine power.
Aye. So,
A useful one, but certainly one that could be abused.
aye.
This feels wrong. We cannot allow this place to be so used by any who may so desire it. Say, for instance, that the Lord of the Lions take it over, and how easily they were swept aside by Albrecht. I know I've had my views in the past, and I am not what I was, but I still feel the safest thing is that this place must be destroyed.
I don't know whether that's possible. Not in a... Sure, we could bury it and, never speak of it again. It's been lost for ages. But allowing it to just fall into other people's hands and expecting it to all work out fine would also be remiss. I think until we can sit down and sort of discuss the future of whatever happens, as people that potentially would like to find it and not have no real interest in its power, perhaps we are some of the best people to put our hands to it for now.
What say you, Saga?
I honestly don't know. Oh, if we decide what happens to it, aren't we the same as anyone who thinks they know what the best use for it is? I don't know.
Better that the cycle...
I'm not a rule maker or a leader of any kind.
It's too dangerous.
I agree. The black spider shouldn't have it, but
One thing at a time.
yes.
Yes.
We know we need to find it. We know we need to stop the black spider. And if we go there, we'll be able to ascertain whether breaking the spell forge is possible and whether that is the best course of action.
And Gundren says, I'm not sure how I feel about destroying the thing. this is many years of work for me.
Of course. I think Johann's fears are partially shared by us as well, and something so powerful should be properly used, if used at all.
Johann doesn't say anything.
Johann, not all magic is bad. I hope you've found that at least.
I know.
Making such things, I've seen a few in my time. They can be very useful, and that they might bring wealth to an otherwise impoverished region wouldn't be such a terrible thing. It would require it to be well looked after and, done properly, but it doesn't strike me that Gundren has the intention of churning out magical weapons of war, if that's what you're concerned about. Am I right in thinking that, Gundren?
Oh, aye, that's completely right. He says, I am just thinking. He says, and I'm not sure how you would feel about this, but perhaps by way of thank you for everything that you've done for me, and obviously this would require the buy-in of my brothers as well, but perhaps it would alleviate your want to destroy the Forge of Spells if we were to find it. Ownership would essentially come to us, and I'm wondering if perhaps you would feel better if you were to share in that profit and ownership.
I'm not interested in amassing wealth from this forge.
No, and I understand that, but perhaps by being part owners of such a enterprise, you would equally have a say in how it operates.
The money wouldn't interest me either, but having a fair say in its fate would, and to be able to pull any profits down to maybe the people of Phandalin and those that need it most, that would be enough for me.
I agree. A say is more important.
Good. That sounds like a plan. And what of Sergei?
Oh, he'll be along. he does this.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we have a choice ultimately. We can head out now, and we'll have to probably camp overnight in the hills somewhere. Or we can wait until first light and head out then and possibly reach the mine by sundown.
I vote no.
No.
Get some miles underneath our belt. Be fresh for the morning.
I agree. I'd rather not to reach the mine by sundown, lest our enemies be cloaked in the dark. I want to see their faces.
Very well. Right, well, I'll just head upstairs and get my stuff together, and we'll head out immediately then. Should we leave a message for Sergei?
Yes. Leave a note.
I'll talk to Toblin, see if he can pass on the message.
Dear Sergei, we've headed out. Hurry up.
Right. I'll see you down here in 20 minutes. And he heads on up the stairs hurriedly and with a look of excitement and a spring in his step. So that's it for another exciting episode of Bardic Quest. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Before we go, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to a couple of folks. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to James Webster for providing us with and allowing us to use this beautiful animated artwork that features throughout the show. If you are a fan of his work and want to show your support to him, then head on over to patreon.com/JamesRPGArt, where you can become a patron of his. But also, I'd like to say a big thank you to our friends over at Sirenscape for allowing us to use their wonderful ambience, music, and sound effects. So if you'd like to introduce those sounds to your table, head on over to sirenscape.com to check out their amazing work. So that's it from us this week, and we will catch you next time.